The space shuttle was designed to carry satellites into space, as well as tools and equipment needed to build the space station. The engineers decided they needed something like a crane for lifting the heavy equipment, but they also needed something more. They needed a huge arm that they could control from the orbiter that could carry the astronauts and tools to different parts of the outside of the spacecraft, developed by a Canadian robotics company. It can move heavy equipment just like a very strong arm, and it can brush ice off the outside of the orbiter just like gentle fingers. Left, the Canadarm lifting heavy equipment. Right, astronaut Jeffrey Hoffman with the equipment used to repair the Hubble Space Telescope. The Canadarm works just like a strong arm and hand. It has 6 joints, 2 in the shoulder, 1 in the elbow, and 3 in the wrist. The Canadarm first went into space in November of 1981. The crew had many jobs to do, and the last day they were scheduled to test the Canadarm. There was a problem with one of the fuel cells, so it was decided on Earth to shorten the mission and not test the Canadarm. The night before their return, the crew said good night to their controllers, and everyone thought they were going to sleep. The crew were so excited about this new arm that instead of sleeping, they spent the night testing it. By morning, they had completed over 90% of the tests. They found that it could do much more than they expected, and they enjoyed using it. Right, the Canadarm being tested on its first flight. Left, astronaut Bruce McCandless going to work outside of the orbiter on the Canadarm. Make a conversation. Write it in your workbook. You are talking about things that you could do with a Canadarm. Just think of all the things you could do with a Canadarm. It's much too expensive to use on construction. We have lots of good equipment for lifting building materials. You couldn't rescue people from fires with it either. It would be too difficult to carry the arm to the fire. It was made to be used in space at zero gravity. If you tried to lift anything heavy with it here on Earth, it would likely break. Press pause while you write in your workbook. It would be really useful if you were building a tall building. You could lift your materials up with it. It would be really good for helping people to escape from burning buildings. I guess I'll have to become an astronaut to use the Canadarm.